breakfast, I'm having a waffle that I made in the waffle maker with some buckwheat flour, oats, and some non-dairy milk, some vanilla extract, cinnamon, and some chocolate chips, and some applesauce. And I put a little ginger syrup on top. For lunch, I'm having a big bowl of salad. I have a head of romaine lettuce, some shredded cabbage, some cooked brown rice and lentils, some red onions, some corn and tomatoes, avocado, some of my vegan sour cream, and sriracha sauce. And I believe that's it. This is one of my favorite salads. Oh, I'll probably add a little nutritional yeast too. For dinner, I have some baked tempeh. I have some barbecue sauce and some balsamic glaze on that one. And I have some cooked cabbage and cauliflower with some mustard and some amaranth and some vegan tartar sauce. And this is the tartar sauce I'm using, Follow Your Heart Veganese tartar sauce. And I have some Whole Foods Dijon mustard. For breakfast, I first had a banana, and now I have some toast with avocado and Tabasco sauce. I have the Food for Life Ezekiel bread, and I toasted that, and I put on half an avocado, smashed that in, and added some Tabasco sauce. For lunch, I'm having another salad. I have a head of romaine lettuce, some shredded cabbage, some cooked brown rice and lentils, some red onions, and some vegan sour cream, sriracha sauce, and nutritional yeast. A very simple one. For dinner, I have some baked tempeh, I have some broccoli, some brown rice and lentils, and some cabbage and cauliflower, topped with some mustard and sriracha sauce. For breakfast, I'm just having a grilled cheese sandwich that I made in a waffle maker. And I have some Food for Life Ezekiel bread, some field roast chow cheese, a piece of that, and I topped it with some Tabasco sauce. And I'm having a cup of coffee with that. I'm having some cotton candy grapes right now, and they're really good. The first few grapes taste a lot like cotton candy, and then after you have a few grapes, they kind of just start tasting like regular grapes. The cotton candy flavor kind of goes away, but they're still really good, but the first few are the best. For lunch, I'm having another salad. I have a head of romaine lettuce, some shredded cabbage, some brown rice and lentils, some red onions, and some of my vegan sour cream, some salsa, and nutritional yeast. For dinner, I have some broccoli, and I have some baked sweet potatoes, and I have some white cannelli beans, and some avocado, some salsa, and some ketchup on top. I'm about to make a smoothie for breakfast. I have about a cup of frozen blueberries, a lot of kale, about, here's the kale leaves, about 5 to 6 kale leaves, and I have a tablespoon of chia seeds, a teaspoon of maca powder, and I have a banana, apple cider vinegar, coconut water, and regular water. For lunch, I'm having a pasta dish. I have the Trader Joe's quinoa and brown rice pasta, and I made a cheesy sauce. I cooked up some cauliflower, and then I blended that and some tofu, some soy milk, nutritional yeast, apple cider vinegar, onion and garlic powder, and a little salt. And I cooked that with some peas and lima beans, and I topped it with some Tabasco sauce. For dinner, I'm having a Mexican dish. I have some corn and tomatoes, some onions, red onions, black beans, some avocado, some of my vegan sour cream, and salsa on top. And on the bottom, I have some brown rice and brown lentils. And I'm just gonna mix this all together. And this is one of my favorite meals. I love everything Mexican. It's really delicious. I'm having a smoothie for breakfast, and I have some frozen blueberries, some fresh turmeric, some kale, and a banana, some chia seeds, matcha powder, and coconut water, apple cider vinegar, and I believe that's it. For lunch, I have some broccoli, and on the bottom I have some brown rice and black lentils, and I have some red onions and a half of an avocado, and some sriracha and sweet chili sauce. For dinner, I'm having another Mexican bowl. I have some brown rice and lentils on the bottom. I have some tomatoes, red onions, some avocado, corn, and lima beans, some refried beans, and some sriracha sauce on top. For breakfast, I'm having another grilled cheese type sandwich. I just have a piece of the field roast cheese. I have the coconut herb this time. And I have Ezekiel bread, and I just put it in a waffle maker and pressed it down for a few minutes. For lunch, I'm having some smoothie. In this one, there is kale and parsley, some matcha powder, and some apple cider vinegar, coconut water, chia seeds, and some blueberries. And in here I have some banana, mango, kale, and maca powder, and some coconut water, peanut butter, and blueberries. I think that was everything. For dinner, I made a green split pea soup. I have some green split peas, and I have some onions, garlic, and some carrots and celery, some vegetable broth and water. Very basic. Oh, and I put some thyme and sage in there. For breakfast, I'm having a smoothie. I have some kale, blueberries, a banana, some chia seeds, coconut water, apple cider vinegar, some fresh turmeric, and some maca powder. For lunch, I'm having another salad. As you could tell, I get in the habit of having the same foods once I really like something, and I love salads. I don't get sick of them. So I have a head of romaine lettuce, some baby kale, I have some fresh cilantro, some corn, red onions, black beans, refried beans, some salsa, some vegan sour cream, and a half of an avocado. And that's about it. I'm having a vegetable stir fry, and I have some broccoli and some peppers, some corn, some onions and garlic, and some tofu, and I cooked that in some low sodium vegetable broth, and I put some spices like some onion and garlic powder and some cumin and a little pepper, and I topped it with some sriracha sauce. And it's very simple and delicious. For breakfast, I'm having a pumpkin waffle, and it smells amazing. I made this with some oats and pumpkin puree, some spices, and some other ingredients, and I made a little cranberry maple syrup sauce to put on top. I cooked down some frozen cranberries, some maple syrup, and some cinnamon. And if you're new to my channel and you don't know, the month of October I have the Veggie Nuts Pumpkin Harvest, and all October I put out fall recipes, a lot of pumpkin dishes, some apples, some other squash. And yeah, I've been in the kitchen practicing, coming up with some delicious recipes, so stay tuned for that. October's right around the corner. For lunch, I'm having some broccoli, some brown rice and lentils, some black beans, refried beans, and some red onions. And I'm gonna put a little sriracha sauce on top. Very simple and delicious and nutritious. I'm making a big pot of soup. I have a thick soup. It's going to be a thick soup. I have some buckwheat, some red lentils, some onions, garlic, some frozen spinach, some edamame, some corn, and some spices like some fresh sage and thyme. And I have some cumin in there, and I think that's about it. Some vegetable broth and water. Here's my bowl of soup. I also added some tofu. Right now I am making my parents some lasagna. I have 2 trays going because lasagna is pretty time consuming, so when I make lasagna I like to make 2 trays usually. I'm just using some store-bought Trader Joe's marinara sauce, and I have my cashew cheesy sauce, and I'm using some Go Veggie Parmesan cheese too, and I have some Daiya cheese and some fresh basil. And yeah, I'm just gonna finish up layering this, and here is the lasagna all done. And I'm going to bring it to my parents now. This is a very simple, delicious lasagna.